This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. It's so great to have you with us. Topping the news, Prime Minister the Honorable Hubert Minnis addressing the apparent challenges in the hurricane relief program here on Grand Bahama. A number of homeowners in need of assistance are still waiting for some help to carry out some much-needed home repairs caused by Hurricane Matthew in last October. Tonight, the nation's leader says assistance is on the way. Italia Hall has that story.
During his visit to Grand Bahama, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis and his team discussed a number of ongoing projects and new initiatives. One of the topics on the agenda was the hurricane relief program in Grand Bahama. The nation's leader says that the program will be reviewed with the goal of bringing assistance to the people of Grand Bahama in a more expeditious manner.
Monies have been placed in the budget. I've directed my members of parliament here to sit down and come to me with a program so that we can commence their suggestion as soon as possible. How that program will be structured, I don't know, but it must be fair to all.
The Prime Minister gave examples of what the reviewed program may be like.
The program may be a voucher system. One exists today, but can be advancement on it. The program may be a commitment of a maximum amount of funds so as to ensure that the money stretch as far as possible.
The nation's chief also had this message for all residents on the island.
It is impossible for the government to rebuild every home in Grand Bahama. So I want to repeat that. It is impossible for this government or any government after a hurricane to rebuild every home in Grand Bahama or in any island in the Bahamas.
However, he says it's the government's responsibility to give all citizens a fair opportunity.
We have limited revenue. If I were to spend $150,000 on each and every home, what will happen? Many Grand Bahamians will be left out or marginalized. But I can improve the quality of life of all. And that's what we'll concentrate on.
Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
Work on the multi-million-dollar causeway at the Fishing Hole Road can now move forward following an inspection by government officials. Sabrina Brown has details.
Minister of State for Grand Bahama, Senator the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, led a team on a tour of the Fishing Hole Road project Monday morning. After conducting a complete assessment of the work to date, Minister Thompson gave this update.
We're satisfied with the progress that has been made. We are working with the contractor to ensure that the project is completed, and we are working with him to ensure that it is completed in the shortest period of time. We visited what is supposed to be the culture village. We also were able to see up close the bridge as it is going up. So we are satisfied that it is progressing. And we also will be working along with him to increase his staff. He has told us his concerns, and we are going to do our best to address those concerns.
Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Works, Iram Lewis, says they are working to ensure that technical requirements are met.
We are satisfied, working along with the City of Freeport and the Port Authority Technical Department, that all of those requirements are met, and we are here on a regular basis inspecting the concrete and inspecting the work to ensure that there aren't any compromise of safety.
The Fishing Hole Road Bridge and Cultural Village is being constructed at a cost of around $7 million. Work began in early 2016, and after some delay, President of All Bahamas Construction, Wolfgang Geiger, says he's pleased that the project can now move forward.
We have finished all the precast elements, so the bridge itself, it's finished in bits and pieces. And what we do now is we're drilling and assembling the bridge on the designated location. And after we have finished half of the bridge going east, we will start to build the abutments and the wing walls and complete the east side. And parallel to this, we will start to pre-drill and put the piles in place on the western side of the bridge.
Now, Minister Thompson also addressed some safety concerns that have been expressed recently.
There have been a number of additional items that have been put in place to address those safety concerns. So you would be aware of additional signage. You would also be aware of the cones that have been placed.
The new causeway at the Fishing Hole Road is expected to be completed by early next year. Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Serious infrastructural damage incurred at a local business following a weekend blaze. The entire grocery store at Tyler's Plaza on Vallejo Road was impacted. Tonight, the owner says despite the major loss, they will be back up and running soon to serve the community. Kimberly Mullings reports.
I've never seen anything like this before.
Owner of Express Food Mart, Shauna Taylor, is in a state of shock. Saturday evening, the store closed as normal, and within hours, everything was gone.
Sunday morning, I got a call about 1 a.m. Saying that the store is on fire. I immediately called my husband, alarmed him, and he came and opened up. When he came, he met the fire truck, 2 fire trucks here, and they did what they had to do.
Taylor says the entire store went up in flames. She is thankful that the other tenants of Taylor's Plaza received only smoke damage.
The good thing about it is contained just to the store. The neighboring stores didn't get affected. The liquor store, everything else is, up and running. However, everyone in the community knows that everything else feeds off the food store. So for sure we have to get it back, up and running.
Express Food Mart employees have been working to clean up the store. She says the work has just begun.
The insurers were here this morning. The adjusters were here. They did what they had to do. We're now in the process of doing inventory, cleaning up on the inside. This is, the early, phase of, getting things back, together.
Express Food Mart has been in the community for 9 years now, with the Taylor's Plaza location being the first of 5 stores across Grand Bahama. Taylor says she and her husband Peter are grateful as the support has been overwhelming.
People just want to pass by and give you a hug and give you a kiss and give you their well wishes, well, we know you guys are resilient people and you're going to get us up back and running. They talk about, the store being a neighborhood food store. They talk about the prices. I don't want to go anywhere else, So, it's just a push for us to know that, what we have, is conducive to the atmosphere and everyone loves us and wants us to come back.
She considers the fire an act of God, but says in another 6 to 8 weeks they hope to reopen their doors to the public in grand style.
When God wants to put you on the map, He uses, things like this to get you there. We were, a little downplayed and, quiet, and He wants to bring us, on the map. I want to thank the Grand Bahama community at large for their support, their continued support, and we definitely are going to be here as soon as we possibly can. Maybe not bigger, like I said, but better.
Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
Police taking a man to court today in connection with an outstanding murder case. 30-year-old Dwayne Belizaire was arraigned before Magistrate Glenn Claude for the murder of Margaret Smith that occurred in February of this year. Belizaire, a resident of Seagrape 8 Mile Rock, was not required to enter a plea. He was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services until November 15th. That is when the matter will proceed by way of voluntary bill of indictment. Smith, 49, was found dead at her home in Seagrape on Valentine's Day. Police in Abaco are investigating the circumstances surrounding the disappearance of a 14-year-old male of Pelican Shores, Abaco. Reports are that shortly after 11 Wednesday night, police received information that the young man left Marsh Harbor in a white Boston Whaler. Left Marsh Harbor in a white 15-foot Boston Whaler boat with a 60-horsepower Mercury engine heading to Pelican Shores and had not been seen since. A massive search effort was initiated by the Royal Bahamas Police Force, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, the United States Coast Guard, the local community, and family members in an effort to locate the missing male who has not been found. Police are actively investigating this matter. Now to news from Bimini. 2 young men were arrested for marijuana possession. Police says officers acting on information executed a search warrant at a home in Baileytown, North Bimini on Thursday and discovered a quantity of marijuana and some cash suspected to be the proceeds of criminal activity. The 2 male residents, ages 22 and 25, were taken into police custody. Immigration officers taking some 12 illegal Haitian migrants into custody. Reports say 6 of the migrants were working without the prescribed work permit. The others were arrested at an apartment complex here in Freeport. Now 9 of the men claim that they entered the Bahamas illegally by boat earlier this year, while the other 3 once had a work permit, but it has since expired and no request was made for a renewal. The 12 migrants are being processed and will be flown to the nation's capital to be housed at the detention center. Stay with us, there's more news right after this break.